Welcome back to Cosmoholics Anonymous. I am your favorite girl, Bo Vintage, and today's video is a story time. So, this is the story of my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right here and tell you how I got searched at the airport for narcotics. Hold on. So, this is like the craziest thing ever because I just wanted to enjoy vacation. I just wanted to go have a nice birthday, you feel me? But that's not what happened at all. Basically, last year, my boyfriend and I wanted to take a trip. And I wanted to go anywhere but Mexico, because if you know anything about Mexico and North America, they're not here for us. They're not here for Canadians and Americans, and they will kill you. So that... See, I thought that they loved Canadians. Somebody told me they didn't.
Well, someone lied, bro.
Whatever. They don't like North Americans, okay? I'm there thinking, like, that's the last place I wanted to go, but I ended up going there anyway. I even told the freaking travel agent that, like, I was like, anywhere but Mexico. Those are my exact words. Anywhere but Mexico. Okay? Okay. Anyway, I'm like, anywhere in Mexico. I don't want to go to Mexico. I'm scared to go to Mexico. We were supposed to go together, but my boyfriend couldn't get work off, so I ended up going on the trip by myself, because I was just like, you is not about to ruin my vacation. When I should have waited, because then, like, all that transpired probably wouldn't have transpired, but I should have just waited, or it could have been worse, who knows. But I should have waited. I didn't want to wait, so I went on vacay anyway without this man. We get to the Canadian airport. They're doing the random checks, before you get on the plane, and I didn't get randomly searched at that point. I wait for my flight. I get on my flight. Everything's good and dandy. Probably took a nap. I fell asleep on the plane. I wake up in Mexico. When I got off the plane, I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like, I was so excited, so chipper. I have a video from when I got off the plane. I get off the plane. When you get off the plane, there's like a long line of Mexican workers. Like, they work at the airport or whatever. And they greet you. They gave me a drink. I'm like, yes, bitch. Like, yes, I'm thirsty. An alcoholic beverage, of course. I think it was probably like a pina colada or whatever it was. It tasted thebomb.com. So I'm like, I got off the plane and I was feeling myself. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna turn up in Mexico by myself. In order to get to the resort, you have to go on a shuttle bus. So once I got out of the airport, my shuttle bus was there waiting, and there was like maybe 20 other people that got on the shuttle bus with me. But this is a video of when I first got off the plane, and I look a hot ass mess. Don't judge me. Thought I was real cute in my little American Apparel outfit. Fucking Mexico. So that's when I got off the plane. And then I was on the bus snapping selfies, looking ridiculous. And yeah, I thought I was gonna have a good time. So we're on the bus, all of us are on the bus, we're driving, and the bus is gonna make like 3 stops at 3 different resorts. Okay, cool. So we're driving, and the area's nice. I'm low-key freaking out inside, but I'm trying to calm myself down, so I'm smiling and like and telling myself how happy I am to be on vacay, when really in my head I'm like, what the fuck, because as we're driving, like, we start off in like the city, I guess, because it was really nice, and as we're driving on this bus, all of a sudden it starts to look ghetto. It starts to look like Baca Bush. It starts to look like just rural as fuck, country as fuck, and just like poverty. Like, it looked like poverty, and I was just like, oh my god, like, what is going on? So I'm low-key freaking out, but I'm trying to keep it together, because at the end of the day, I have to enjoy my vacation. Like, yeah, what am I supposed to do? I'm here. I might as well, you know, just enjoy it while I can. So the bus pulls up to the first resort. I'm looking out the window. I'm like, oh my god, this is so nice. It's so pretty. The buildings were all multicolored and like it looked Mexican as fuck. Okay, it just looked like some maracas. Like, I don't even know. It looked great, but the grass, like there was a big field and there was multiple buildings, and then like I didn't end up getting off the bus because it wasn't the name of my resort that he had called out. It was a different name. So I was like, oh my god. So I still have to stay on the bus. Third of the people got off the bus. Now there's 2/3. So we pull off. We're driving. We get to the next resort. Again, it's not my resort. Outside looks fine. And so I'm like, okay, if this is what the resorts look like, then, you know, that's what I'm expecting mine to look like. But no. So again, the people get off the bus. Now there's another third left, and I'm included in that 1/3. And we pull up, or we drive. It's still getting more poverty stricken, more rural, more off, like, I don't know. It was just ghetto as fuck. Like, for my bougie ass to be on this bus driving into the middle of buttfuck Idaho. Like, it didn't make any sense. So get to our resort, and I'm looking around, and it literally looked like Wasaga Beach. Oh my god, I really don't know how to describe this to you. It looked horrible. It looked like I was literally in the middle of nowhere. There was a little corner store that sold flip-flops, and I had to go buy a pair of flip-flops because I didn't bring any, and I wanted to go to the beach. Anyway, we get off of the bus, and we give our luggage to the guy that greets us once we get off the bus. And there's a little cabana there, and the cabana is actually nice. Like, I'm not gonna lie, the cabana was nice. It had Wi-Fi, like it had a counter, more drinks, so you know I had more drinks, and I just was trying to calm myself down because I think the main reason I was so scared was because I was by myself. It wouldn't have been the same if my boyfriend was with me. So anyway, I'm at the cabana now, getting my wristband and stuff, and they take our luggage and go wherever with it, and then I'm sitting at the table waiting for my room to be ready, because that's why they took our luggage. They take our luggage until our rooms are ready. Finally, my room's ready. This cute little Mexican man with his green eyes takes me, and he brings me to my room. And the minute I saw my room, you guys, well, not the minute I saw it. The minute I saw it, my heart sank down. But after he left the room, I bawled my eyes out. I said, no, I cannot stay here. Like, my anxiety took all the way over, and I started panicking, freaking out, and everything. I get to my room and look, it's like, I have a video of the room too. I'll show you that in a second. But the way the room was, or it was like off on the side where like nobody else was. There's like at least 7 buildings, and I was on the ground floor. To get into my room, it was just a glass door, and there was literally nobody around me. I didn't have any neighbors, and so I was just like, why would they put me here? They knew I'm traveling by myself. They knew I was only, how old was I, 22. Obviously, it was only a year ago. Obviously, I was only 22. For some reason, I felt like I was 21. Oh, I was 21. I was turning 22 because my birthday hadn't come yet. So I was freaking out, and I'm just like, why the hell would they do this? Blah, 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 blah. Mind you, I never really told anybody that I was going on vacation. I kind of told whoever I told the day that I left. Like, I messaged my mom from Mexico, talking about I'm in Mexico, and she's like, no, you're not. And I was like, I'm in Mexico. So I'm in the room or whatever, freaking out, trying to use the Wi-Fi to message back home. The Wi-Fi is not working. Okay, so you're telling me from the cabana to here there ain't no Wi-Fi? Bitch, because what am I supposed to do in the middle of the fucking night? I'm not doing this. So that was strike 2, because the first strike was the room being where it was and how it looked. All my devices are dying at this point. My laptop's dying, my phone is dying, my iPod is dying, my 3 sources of communication are dying. I'm by myself in another country where motherfuckers don't speak English. So, oh Dios míos, I go to plug my phone in. My phone's not charging. Do you know what that means? that means there's no motherfucking power in the bedroom that I'm in. Why? Why is there no power? Why is there no power? I'm like, no. So now I'm really bawling my eyes out. Like, I'm literally crying. I'm sobbing at this point because I'm just like, okay, like, no, I don't feel right. Something doesn't feel right. I'm losing my mind. So I'm like, okay, let me calm down. I put my bathing suit on. I go stand at the beach and try to figure my life out. Like, literally having deep thoughts at the beach. First of all, the beach was not anything like you see on TV. It was not like Sandals or Punta Cana. This beach looked like Lake motherfucking Ontario, okay? And if you don't live in Canada or if you don't live in Ontario, Google that and see what Lake Ontario looks like, and then come back to this video and then you'll feel my pain, okay? So I'm like, no, bitch. The water looked dirty. The sand was dust. Like, no, not having it. So let me show you guys a room real quick. Oh, this is the first resort. Look at this. This is the first resort that we stopped at, and I'm just like, can you guys see that? Is it okay? Like, do you see the color buildings? Okay, no, we don't need to see that. But the colored buildings, the nice trees, and I'm like, oh yes, bitch. And then I get to my resort, and then out of nowhere while we're driving, it turns into this. So I kid you not, you guys, it's just ghetto as fuck. Like, it's just rural dirt and trees, okay? This is the so-called beach. Still not okay. And this is my little apartment that they put me in. Okay, so the shit. Okay. Hold on. That was just walking up to it. This is the inside. Bathroom. Okay. Bathroom. What is this? Shower? No. Oh my god, stop. Big ass window right beside the bed. Double no. AC feels good, but that's not enough to make me stay. Dude, whatever. This is supposed to be a kitchen and whatever. And then the lounge. Why would I stay here? And we can just nothing that I have to view. So that was the room, and that's why I was freaking out. I'm like, no, like, I can't stay here. So I go to the front, I find the guy with the green eyes, and I'm just like, is there another room I can have? Because I'm like, I can't do this room. I cannot do it. And he tells me there's nothing he can do for me. I'm gonna have to wait for like 1 or 2 days for somebody to finish their vacation so that I can have a different room. I didn't have 1 or 2 days in my heart. I felt like tonight was the night that they was gonna kill me and eat me like chop suey. So I'm just like, no, I don't have that kind of time. So can you please do something? And why doesn't the Wi-Fi work? And he's just like, oh, the Wi-Fi works in building 1 only. And I'm just like, well, I need to be in building 1 then, because I'm not gonna stay on this motherfucking ground floor. You better get your life. And he was just like, you know, you just have to wait and see what I can do for you, blah 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 blah. Now again, I'm by myself, so I'm not really being rational, but that's just what I wanted to do. I go to the cabana with my laptop, and I go to plug in my laptop. All of the plugs only have 2 prongs. They don't have 3. My laptop charger cord is a 3-prong cord. So I needed to have the 2 at the top and the 1 at the bottom to put inside. Like you would have on a wall. Every freaking outlet has 3 holes in it, or 6 holes. This outlet at the cabana only had 4 holes. So I was just like, okay, like, how am I couldn't charge I couldn't do anything. Like, I just felt stranded. I felt crazy. So I go to the girl that's at the desk, and I'm just like, can you please get me an extension cord or something? I need to be able to charge my laptop and use my laptop right now. And she told me, okay, she has to call the maintenance guy for it. So I said, okay. I'm waiting. No maintenance guy. So I go and I page her again. I'm like, I asked you for a charger. Can you please, like, for a an extension cord. Where's the maintenance guy? And she said she called him. He should be on his way. Give him 10 minutes. So I said, okay. Still no fucking charger. So at this point, I'm just like, okay, fuck this. Let me go back to my room, pack my shit, get in a taxi, and go back to the motherfucking airport. Mind you, it's been like 3 hours. I didn't even give it a chance because that's how unsafe I felt. I did not give it a chance. I was not about to play with my life. So I went back to my room, packed my shit, left a lot of shit because I had overpacked and my bags were so heavy. And I took out a bunch of shit and I said, fuck it, I'll just leave these clothes here, then give them to little Mexican children, whatever. I went to the front. I told the guy with the green eyes to call me a cab. I'm leaving. And then everybody was kind of trying to come to my rescue, talking about, oh, do you need another room, blah, blah. But bitch, didn't you tell me I have to wait 1 to 2 days, and now all of a sudden y'all got another room to give me? I'll take my chances. I'll hop in a cab and I'll go. But I was so freaking tired. So I remember when my cab came, I was driving the cab. It's a long ride. And I was trying to stay awake in the cab because I felt like this man was going to pull off on the side and take me into his uncle's house. Like, you know what I mean? So I was just so terrified, but I was literally bucking in the cab. I'm just like trying to stay awake, and I really couldn't stay awake for the life of me, but I had to. Like, it was at the point where I was driving, where he was driving the cab and I had one eye open because I was trying to look for landmarks. Even though I was in Baka Bush, I was trying to look for landmarks or like things that I saw on the way to the hotel, because the cab driver did not speak English. I just told him to take me to Puerto Vallarta International Airport, or whatever the hell the Puerto Vallarta airport's called, but that's where I was, in Puerto Vallarta. So I ended up paying him $90 in their currency, and then I was on my merry way. So I made it to the airport safely, thank the Lord. But yes, I made it to the airport, paid him, took my bags, went inside the airport, and I was just like, okay, let me see if I can get a flight to Texas. Wasn't no flights to Texas until Tuesday. It was Saturday. Who has until Tuesday? Who is sitting in the airport in her dirty drawers until Tuesday? Not me, no ma'am. So I'm like, okay, let me go see what Canadian flights are there, because clearly it's not popping for me today. I'm not, like, there's nothing I can do at this point. I'm not gonna ask for no other flights. I don't even remember what time it was. I just know that I went to all the other airline desks and just found out what flights are going to. I tried to get a flight to Toronto. It didn't work. So the next closest flight, or the next Canadian flight that was available, was Edmonton. So I'm like, you know what? From Edmonton, I can get my way back home. I can't really drive from Mexico. I asked the guy. He said, yeah, there's about 4 seats left. I said, get me a seat, please. He said, okay. Little did I know, the flight wasn't leaving for another 7 hours. So I had to sit in the airport for 7 hours until the Edmonton flight was ready to take the fuck off. I waited in the airport for 7 long hours. I had to buy a charger. That plane ticket, I think, was $490 from Mexico to Toronto. Mexico to Edmonton. And I had a round trip. I paid to stay in Mexico for 7 days, flights included. So flight and resort, everything. I got a package deal, but because I left early, I couldn't get that, like, I couldn't use the money or whatever. I couldn't use that same flight because that flight's not leaving for 7 days or whatever it was. So I had to buy a ticket back home, or back to Edmonton, which still not home, which means I still had to spend money somehow to get my ass from all the way across Canada, because Edmonton is on the other side of the damn universe in comparison to Ontario. Okay, that's way west. I live east. I'm at the airport. I get on the plane 7 hours later, and I get comfy. So I'm on this flight now. The flight's taking off or whatever. It's nighttime, and they're serving dinner. I'm a very, very, very picky eater, but I was starving, so I'm just like, okay, I'll eat the airplane food. The flight attendant, cool ass blonde chick, she's like, do you want some wine? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, hell yeah, I want some wine. I had a long ass day. So I got wine from her. She gave me this white wine, and it was the best fucking wine I ever had in my life. I promise you that. The wine was so good. I don't know what it was. It was free.
So you flew to Mexico to have a glass of wine there, and then a glass of wine on the plane back, and then that's it. That was your trip.
That was my trip.
So I'm glad
No, that wasn't even my trip. I didn't even get to the kicker yet, you guys. I always save the kicker, okay? So, and I drink it, and I just chug it back because I'm just like, hey, this is the bomb.com. I wanted more, but I didn't know if I could have more. So, and I never really saw her again, to be honest. So I never got another glass of wine. I took the wine. I'm getting kind of restless, so I just pop my earphones in and go to sleep. Close to landing, or like maybe I'm gonna say like 15 minutes before we were gonna land in Edmonton, okay? Out of nowhere, my belly wakes me up because it is just on fire. Like, I'm like, yo, what the fuck? My stomach hurt so bad. Like, it felt like I just drank a whole pot of Centipede tea. Or like I took like 100 laxatives. Like, my stomach was just going, okay? My stomach was on the fritz, okay? It was doing the hoot nanny. So, I'm like, excuse me. I'm trying to push the couple out my way, but I can't do that. Like, the airplane's small. I can't afford no first class ticket. So, I'm basically, they had to get out the aisle for me to get up to go to the washroom, but we're close to landing, and there's a little bit of turbulence. I'm racing down. First of all, the wine definitely had me lit on fire because when I got up to walk to the bathroom, I was like stumbling. It was almost like the freaking flight attendant gave me a roofie or something. Like, I don't understand what happened with the wine, but I just know that I was literally holding onto the chairs while there's turbulence, but I'm like out of it trying to walk to the bathroom to take a fucking shit. Okay, so I get to the bathroom now. I lock it, make sure it says freaking occupied, and cover the seat, and then I as soon as I sat down, you guys, my ass just emptied, or my intestines emptied everything that ever was in there out, okay? It just came all out. I'm basically having diarrhea on a plane right now, and I'm just like, what is my life? What is it? And when does this happen? Like, who does this happen to? Only me. I don't know anybody else that gets diarrhea on a fucking flight, or that gets roofied by a damn flight attendant on a flight. Like, what the hell? Anyway, I shit my brains out on that plane. So then I wipe my ass, wash my hands, and go back to my seat. But I'm feeling way better, obviously. I don't know, man. It was either the food and the wine together. I don't know what it was, but I was just very uncomfortable. So I'm going back to my seat, still a little dizzy. And I sit down or whatever, put my seatbelt on because we're going to land soon. We land at 12 a.m., okay? Remember that. So once you land, coming from Mexico and stuff, you have to go through customs or whatever after you get your suitcase. I wait for my suitcase. It takes forever to come. Everybody's kind of took forever. Like, there was a big dirty line. So we're waiting for our suitcases. Finally, I see my suitcase. I grab my suitcase. I have my purse. I'm good to go. I'm walking. I have my passport out, and you have to like when you're coming back from Mexico, you have to fill out this paper to declare how much cash and stuff you have, or how much you're bringing back into Canada. And so you have to have that plus. So while I'm waiting or whatever, I book a hotel on my credit card, and I just Googled like cheapest rate hotel in freaking Edmonton right now. So I booked the hotel for 2 nights. So I'm waiting in line at the customs place or whatever, and they just, when you get there, they just ask you, you know, how long you were gone for, blah, 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 blah. So me, being young and naive, I tell the truth. I'm just like, oh, I was literally there for like 12 hours. Like, honestly, I was terrified. I traveled by myself. I didn't know what to do. They put me in this crazy room that I didn't feel comfortable in, so I I was like, no. I asked them to call me a cab. I went back to the airport. I hopped on the next available flight. There wasn't a flight to Toronto, so I ended up in Edmonton because it's easier for me to get home than to stay in Mexico where I'm terrified. Immediately when I said that I was only there for 12 hours, the lady that was looking at my passport and the paper, she stopped looking at the paper and she looked up at me, and she just like, she's like she had this look on her face like, oh, you can afford a 12-hour trip kind of thing, like, you know. So then I didn't think nothing of it, and so she's like, okay, whatever, give me my thing, act like nothing's wrong, honey, giving me my shit back, and I'm off to the next post, right? So once you check in with her or whatever, you go with your bags to another guy. I give him my passport. He opens it, looks at the paper thing that I guess she like filled it out or whatever, and I was like, he gives it back to me. I'm like, that's it? He's like, you have one more stop. So I'm like, oh, okay. But oddly enough, everybody else that was in that line is just going this way. He said, you have one more stop over there. I had to go this way. So I'm looking like, why everybody going this way and I gotta go this way? Like, what's going on here? And he was just like, one stop. And he was nice too. Like, everybody's nice. I'm getting emotional talking about this. Everybody was nice. Okay, I'm on the phone with my sister and I'm just telling her like, I just got to Edmonton, blah blah blah. They told me I have one stop, and she was actually, I think she made a joke with me about how they're gonna search up my things, and I'm just like, I was laughing or whatever, and then I was talking to her on the phone or whatever, and then there was another guard there or whatever, whatever they are, what are they, they're officers, right? So there was another one there, and I pointed to him and I said, I'm supposed to come see you. And then he said, once you're done with your call. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, Keisha, I gotta go, bye. Hang up the phone, get off the phone with her, bring my luggage to him. He tells me to put it up on the metal table, so I do, and he's talking to me or whatever and asking me basically the same questions or whatever, and I'm telling him exactly what I told the lady, like it was not safe, blah 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 blah. The officer's going through my stuff, and again, he's being nice. So he's being nice to me, he's going through my luggage. Then the lady that had initially checked my passport or whatever, and this other butch ass bitch, yes, butch ass bitch, dusty ass, ugly ass, no man having ass bitch was there too. And now everybody is just up in my fucking luggage searching my luggage. And so I see them and they're they're using like the swab things, swabbing it and bring it to the machine to check my suitcase for narcotics. And so I'm just like, this is so weird, like what the fuck? So I'm there, whatever, I'm waiting, nobody's really saying anything to me, and out of nowhere, the butch lady, she's like, do you know why you're here right now? I'm like, if I knew, I wouldn't look this fucking puzzled. Like, no, I don't know. And then she's like, your suitcase is reading really high for cocaine. Well, excuse the fuck out of me. Excuse the fuck out of me. I said, you're kidding me, right? And then she was like, does it look like we're kidding? When she said that, I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, there is no fucking way that this is going on right now. I'm automatically thinking this is racial profiling. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, they never seen a black person in Edmonton before? Like, what's going on? Like, why am I the only person stopped in this fucking airport right now? Like, literally the only person stopped. And so, I'm like, okay, like, I don't understand that, but you know, whatever. Search away, because obviously I know that there's no fucking drugs in my fucking luggage, so obviously I'm gonna let them fucking search it. I'm not gonna freak out. So I'm just standing there, chilling like a motherfucking villain, watching them tear apart my suitcase. They're literally searching every nook and cranny of my suitcase. They dumped out my entire luggage and just went through everything. They went through literally everything. They went through my fucking Lubriderm. They opened the Lubriderm, opened it, took some out, went to go get this book thing that had like all these powders in it, took this pink powder, poured the Lubriderm in the fucking powder, and then was that I guess if the powder turned a different color, then it would be drugs or whatever, but there was nothing in the Lubriderm, so they swabbed the outside of the Lubriderm. Oh, and they're like, this Lubriderm is reading high for hash and cocaine, and I'm just like,
Hash.
I said, you know what, arrest me, bitch, arrest me, because clearly I'm guilty of something and I don't know, clearly. Okay, so I'm just standing there. I'm kind of panicking in my head, but I'm looking at them stone-faced because I'm just like, hey, I'm not gonna make them see the fear in me. Like, I'm terrified at this point. And it's one of those terrified where you, like, you know you're innocent, but you know that they think otherwise. So I'm tripping out in my head like I really have drugs in there or something. So the reason that I insulted this fucking bitch so much is because I'm just like, she was just so bold and nasty with it, and like she had the biggest attitude at all. The other two didn't have an attitude with me. She was the only one, and she was just like, your stuff's reading really high for cocaine, and that's what we're gonna find here today. I'm like, good luck, enjoy your search. That is exactly what I said to her, because I'm just like, bitch, you is not coming for me right now talking about there is no fucking drugs in my luggage, okay? No. So they're acting crazy or whatever. They want to swab literally everything. They bust open the bottom of my motherfucking shoes, okay? These are my club shoes. These are $200 Jeffrey Campbell shoes. They peeled the bottom open thinking that they were gonna find fucking drugs stuffed up the heel. She's like, where did you buy these shoes? I'm like, Little Burgundies. She's like, I'm gonna ask you again, where did you buy these shoes? Little Burgundies. You can find it at any freaking mall. Like, they have one in Scarborough Town Center where I live. And then she's like,
I'm gonna ask you one more time. Where did you buy these shoes?
I'm gonna tell you one more time, like you just asked me one more time. Little Burgundies. That's my story, and I'm sticking fucking to it. Like, I didn't buy these fucking shoes in Mexico. These are not shoes that I got from the Mexican cartel to bring back drugs for fucking El Guardo. Like, no. Like, these are real shoes. I told them to Google the fucking shoe. I'm like, the shoes are very heavy. Is it this heel? Yeah. The shoes are extremely heavy, okay? So there's a lot of dirt on the shoe because, you know, I wore them the other day. This is the shoe, okay? This shoe is at least 3 pounds. Maybe 5. It's like a 5-pound dumbbell, okay? They like took a little knife thing and peeled this open and stuck. Yeah, they stuck something up there and tried to dig out cocaine. Like, there's no fucking cocaine in my fucking shoes, you dumb bitch. Like, I was so mad and so frustrated, and they were just treating me like I was a criminal, and I was just like, no, like, I can't explain my luggage right now. I can't explain that. Like, you know, they were asking me about my clothes, what I do for a living, and every time it got to a point where, like, they felt like it was time to let me go, they would find something else or like look for something else, and then I ended up staying longer. So remember I told you that the flight landed at 12:30 or whatever, okay, or 12 o'clock, and I had my bags by like 1. So then I'm like, look, the story that I'm telling you guys is a factual story. I have a video from when I freaking got off the plane, and I have a video from the hotel room that I sent to my best friend telling her that I cannot deal with the bedroom that they put me in and that I want to come home. So I showed them the video. The video was on my iPod, and that just made them want to search my fucking iPod. Then they searched my phone. They went through my text messages and violated me in the worst way. Like, they were going through my shit and asking me, who's this? Who's Jacob? Who's James? Who's Stevens? Stevens? Oh my god. Who's Steven? Who's this? Who's that? Like, you know? Like, I'm just like, what? Like, what? Why is that any of your fucking business? Who's who in my phone? Like, did you guys find drugs? No, so why are you bothering me? Like, I was so pissed, you guys. I was very, very upset. Anyway, so the bold bitch is still going through whatever. They're not finding anything in my luggage now, so they pack back up my luggage, but then they see my purse. They look at my purse. They take my laptop out my purse. Where's the charger for this? They look in my purse. They find the charger. They plug the dead laptop into the charger to go through my laptop. What is in there for you? There's gonna be narcotics in the laptop? Like, what are you gonna, what benefit is it going to be for you to look through my laptop, my personal laptop? Of course, being that my fucking idiot boyfriend's name is Shooters in Town, the background on my laptop was, what caliber were they?
Some big machine gun.
Big machine gun bullets were the background on the. I didn't know what they wanted me to say. You know, fuck the background on my laptop. It has nothing to do with you. I didn't have a password on my laptop at the time, so they just pressed the enter button and they were in there like swimwear. And so they're going through the laptop and they're looking through pictures, all of this, just violating my fucking personal space. I'm like, can I go now? Like, did you, like, why am I still here? At this point, it's 2 a.m., 2:30, and they're still going through trying to look for stuff. Like, no, you're not finding anything because I don't have anything. They finished going through my laptop and my phone, all that, and no, it wasn't 2:30. It was probably more closer to 3:30 because I didn't leave that airport until 4:30. So we got to one point where they're asking me if I swallowed anything, right? And I'm just like, are you guys fucking dumb? I'm like, do you think I'm dumb? You think I don't know that people die from something like that? Like, that shit can burst in your stomach at the blink of an eye. I'm not an idiot. I would never swallow drugs. And so they're just like, oh, good that you know that or whatever. And I'm like, to be honest, oh, I was burping like a motherfucker. Remember I told you I had the diarrhea on the plane or whatever? Yeah, I'm there telling them they could come into the washroom and search my shit, stick their finger up my ass. I don't care. There's nothing in there for them. So, you know, they can do whatever they want to do at this point because I just want to go home. Like, whatever it's going to take for you guys to understand that I do not have narcotics, I want you guys to do. Okay? So they eventually they let up and they were just like, okay, you're free to go or whatever, you know, we didn't find anything, blah blah blah. I'm like, praise Jesus. The fucking fat bitch that was being all, we're gonna find it here today, that bitch, that fat ugly bitch, dyke ass hoe, was pissed, livid, literally, like, she was literally so mad that they didn't find anything. Like, she was just pissed. Like, she was basically like rolling her eyes and just so frustrated that they didn't find drugs on me. Like, she really thought she was about to get a raise, like she was about to get a new paycheck. No, bitch. I was not the one. I wasn't the one. I wasn't your pot of gold, honey. No, like, no. I'm not an idiot. I'm not gonna go to Mexico and try to bring back drugs. Like, no. They don't pay you enough for that. No, I don't know why people even do that. Like, don't be swallowing no drugs trying to bring them back. Like, please, babe, please. There's no sense. The only thing that makes sense is finessing the plug. That's it. There is no, why are you laughing? It's true. That's the only thing. Like, don't be trying to swallow no drugs to bring them back, okay? Don't do it. It's not worth it. No. So because they're going through my email, they seen the email or the confirmation email that I booked the hotel. They're like, we came here because you couldn't get a flight back to Toronto. Why are you staying all the way downtown? I don't fucking know the city. I don't know Edmonton. Like, what? Like, why is that even any of your concern? Who cares where I booked the hotel? I'm like, I booked the cheapest hotel that there was online, and that's where I'm staying. I didn't know how far it was from the airport. Like, what? I didn't even think to search for one that was close by. I just thought to search for one that was affordable. Like, I just spent $500 on a ticket. Why am I going to spend another $300 on a hotel that I'm only going to be in for 48 hours? Like, no, I'm not gonna get a fucking Ritz-Carlton. I'm not a Ritz-Carlton. Hey. I ain't Plies, motherfucker. Like, I'm not him. I was pissed or whatever, but finally, like I said, they did let up and they let me go or whatever. But as I grabbed my suitcase to wheel it out and my purse, they were like, she gave me back my passport or whatever, and she's just like, actually, can I see that for a second? And she took it back from me, and I think that's when she flagged my passport, which should not have happened because, one, there was nothing found, and two, Like, it was just unnecessary. Like, I explained to you guys the situation. I showed them the videos that I showed you guys. And...
You know what you didn't explain to them?
What?
You know what you didn't explain to them?
What? That I bought my luggage on Kijiji?
Okay.
Yeah, like, they were asking me the whole time, but I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I bought my luggage on Kijiji, and that's the moral of the story. Don't be buying no luggage off Kijiji, y'all, because you don't know what these people be storing in their luggage, honey. That's the moral of the story, guys. Do not buy luggage off of Kijiji, okay? So that's probably why the people were selling the luggage. The same thing probably happened to fucking them, but I didn't know. So that is why my luggage was reading high for that. Yeah, sucked. It was a learning experience. My passport's probably flagged, so when we next March, when we try to go take a vacation, it might be an issue. I might get held up at the airport, but I'm not sure. And ever since then, I've kind of been afraid to leave the country because I'm just like, that's embarrassing, like, to go to the airport and then your passport's flagged. Like, I have no idea if it is or not, and there's not really any way to check, so I don't know how to...
We're just gonna get searched again.
Yeah, like, I'm just gonna get searched. Like, that's just what it is. And luckily they didn't take me into no room to fill up my booty hole, because I would have died. Like, I would have actually died. I don't want nobody touching my bum hole. Like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Anyway, you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. My next story time for you guys will be my sugar daddy story. That story is, you guys are gonna love that story. Yeah, it's hilarious. Anyway, I love you all. I hope you subscribed. If you didn't subscribe, make sure you subscribe and give this video a thumbs up to say fuck airport security, because they didn't secure shit. Like, they just gave me a hard time for no motherfucking reason. And yeah, I honest to God thought they were joking when they told me that my luggage was reading high for, or my everything inside my luggage was reading high for drugs. And I was just like, help me, Jesus. But you know what? I'm proud of myself because I kept my composure the whole time. I didn't cry. I had a stone face, and I was just like, I just had an attitude the whole time. Like, I was just like, arms crossed, staring them down like, are you done yet? Are you done yet? Like, I just wanted to go. I left the airport at 4:30 when my flight landed at 12. Like, that's how long they had me there for. To tell me you're free to go. The fuck out of here.